I kind of reacted to that. I don't know. Sorta. I was looking for a drive rush and I just saw forward movement. God damn it. This ranked experience. Fucking face. Fucking farts and farts. All right, let's watch some movies. I want to relax and do something else. All one and done. Can we refrain from farts? My kids are listening. Why does everyone one and dunning now? I don't know, man. It's like the new fad or something. You're not deserved a set. I don't owe you a set. That is an interesting subject, though, right? Like, why don't people continue to play the set? Why do people one and done? I'm curious. Let's have a thought experiment. To conserve points, which means they admitted defeat. Yep. There's good reasons like bad connection quality, or maybe they just doesn't enjoy the matchup, had to poop. Yeah, something came up. Like a poop, door, baby's at the door. Yeah. Doesn't like you. Maybe they don't like playing on stream. I think this is a good reason. This is a pretty good reason. If somebody is playing somebody like me and they don't want to be in front of people. Oh yeah, hackers don't want to be caught using cheats, which makes no sense. That's probably why they're doing it, but it doesn't make sense. Yep, or against a hacker. Oh yeah. Friend. That's kind of up here too. Friend invites to custom / is that how you spell custom? That's costume. Custom. I've been getting worse at spelling lately. Custom room / tournament. They got to go play in a tournament. Something came up. Yep, tournament match. It's their last game. You push them to uninstall. They are uninstalling. M key filled up. That's another thing. I would put that down here. Device malfunction. Accident. Sometimes you do it by accident. Jehovah's Witness knocked on my door and you had to hide. Turn the lights off. I used to do that. We used to turn the TV off, turn the lights off, and just hide under the couch. Don't let them see you. Accidentally pressed decline or whatever. Okay. The majority. Is there anything else? Doesn't like the character? Yeah, I put that matchup. Spite. Yeah, hate. Yeah. To get a reaction out. This is a good reason. Sometimes a fun reason. Out of the user, streamer. Salt. Yeah. One and done. I've done funny one and dones before. Like win quit. Yeah, one and done. It can be fun in the right moment. So what I think is the majority of the time, you know, it's just an opinion. Most of the time it's this. They don't care about solving the problem. So what is the consequence of this? You waste time. Gotta wait for the next queue. It feels unresolved. Typically tournaments are 2 out of 3, so you kind of expect that. It just feels like they did the escape in Final Fantasy. They escaped you. You also don't get the learning experience. I don't know how to phrase that. Don't progress in the meta, I guess. This is such an important statement right here. I want to get it right. Like the evolution of the match. And this is what provides you more learning experience. And this is how you get better, for the most part, is by solving the problem, seeing what the next thing they do and what you do about it is. Yeah, loss of knowledge. I like that. Opportunity. This is what happens when somebody win quits or rage quits or whatever. So then what do they get out of it? What are they trying to save themselves from? This has always been around, but some people losing, ego. It's really tied into that. Ego, of course. Some people, when they lose, it is like a devastating blow to them. Losing, party, cannot stand losing, ego, something like that. Or yeah, I guess so. Maybe they want to play against an easier player. Yeah, that's also in there somewhere. And at some point, I just think on the side, it's a fighting game, man. The whole point is to play it. And then you're like, nah, I don't want to play it. It's like, that's the whole purpose, is to play the game. And then you're like, no, I don't want to play the game no more. Against you specifically. Against you, I don't want to play. And why? Yeah, this is kind of already, yeah. I'm thinking about, why does it bother someone like me when it happens? Like, oh man, I feel like they beat me when they want it done. But it's right here. There's no resolution. I don't want to wait for the queue. There's no practice involved. You're not going to learn anything when they just, I mean, you learn something, but not related to the match. Because this is happening a lot more than I remember, especially when I played Tekken. It was like common practice. It was more common to just get one match than it was two. It's like one and doneing is part of the mix-up. It's like, you know, you don't have very many defensive options that are good on Wake Up in Street Fighter 6. That's like the best defense. Just stop, play somebody else. Or they feel like they've been figured out. That's also another part. But at the end of the day, well, no, because people still stop playing in casual matches. At some point, you gotta stop, right? When I play casual matches, oftentimes people stop at 5 or 10, but sometimes people go to like 3 and then they invite me to a room and curse me out. That's also probably closely related to this. What was I gonna say? They've been figured out. The balls are blue. They don't care about improving. They just want to. They want that tiny dopamine hit from a win. That's terrible. And I think you're right. When you shut down someone's flowchart, they either just sit there or leave. Or maybe they don't know how to get better. This is like a side note, I guess. They don't know how to get better. This is so common in ranked, and Street Fighter 6 really punctuates it. A lot of characters play the same, but also a lot of people play the same. It's not exactly true. There are some things you can develop in your character and decisions you make. I'm not trying to say Street Fighter 6 is an incredibly complicated game, but there are some more finer details that can be practiced in matches, and basically it's your drive gauge management. That's how you get better at this game, in my opinion. That's like the most important part. So if you don't like progress there, then you know it's just gonna, the same thing's gonna keep happening. So then I really wonder what the motivation is for people that are playing ranked. Maybe it's one of those things where you just kind of turn your brain off and hit buttons. But one thing is kind of certain: winning is more important. Most of the time, not every time, but winning is the priority. But that's, I think I didn't finish that statement. Embracing losing is like the best part. You learn so much more when you lose than when you win, or at least you have more opportunity to learn more when you lose, because you can identify, you know, where the problems are. And then you go in training mode and look at it. I'm guilty of not really doing that. I haven't done that in a long time. Most of the time I can kind of figure it out on the fly. But when I look at people's replays, I look at a replay where they lose, but they win one round. That gives me the most information of what's going wrong. So losing is really important, but the ego part, I think, really gets in the way of it. Can't get a dopamine from the win, so they just try to get it from believing they can just piss you off. It could also be kids. There are also the 1 or 2 tricks that aren't working, so instead of trying to problem solve, they just leave. Yeah. They're actually psychopaths. I'm sure there are some out there. Number goes up by any means necessary. Good advice when you feel stuck in your improving and training. Watch your replays and watch other people's replays. Just X copy. And go into training mode. I think Street Fighter 6 is pretty easy to figure out how to optimize. It's pretty simple. The math is there. It's like pretty simple. +1, use a 4 frame. +2, throw or 5 frame. It's like, there's really not a whole lot more to it. So on and so forth. That's why Battle Hub is lit. I be getting cooked and still have fun. I remember when I started out, I couldn't stand Guile. Then I played Geef and learned. Oh, like you hit heavy punch against the booms. You're not insecure with your abilities with the game and see the bigger picture. These people are hyper fixated on a number and what it reflects on them. I think that's true also. It's really unfortunate. It's not the best way to go about it. Maybe I'm old. I think that's part of it too. Not to make it about me too much, but I've always been pretty mature about this kind of thing. But some people aren't mature, even if they are old. Look at it from a macro perspective. It's like a societal thing. Participation trophies, that's related. I'm not sure how closely though. I mean, it's the same sort of concept. I feel like things aren't that much different than what they used to be. That reminds me, when this game first came out, and I was like, don't, there's a tweet somewhere. Don't say that the new kids aren't going to be good at the new Street Fighter. I'm telling you right now. Don't do it. And look at where we're at now. And it was for two reasons. One is because the game's not going to be as solid as you might think it is, which is not. And two, the new players are good. They're not all some autistic mashers or whatever you want to say. They're good. They know what they're doing. They're not incapable. I was like, I knew it. Don't over or underestimate this game. Yeah, what up, Jen? Hey, Jay. One of the biggest jumps I've ever heard in fighting games was getting beat up in Street Fighter 4 by Pack Strife, Q and Matt Frank for 5 hours straight. So like the moment where you got really good was from losing constantly. Yeah. People can't even lose in a first of 3 anymore. Yeah, man. Yeah. And the other part of it is I'm willing to bet that Pack Strife, Q, and Matt Frank, they were telling you while they were playing like things you could work on or how you knew would ask good questions and how to get better. Yeah, losing is such an important factor of getting better. Yo, what up, Ray JJ? First of 3 should be required in ranked. That sort of segues into this other problem that fighting games sort of have, and I think Street Fighter 6 with Battle Hub and their lobbies work pretty good. Fighting games, one of the problems of fighting games since Street Fighter 5, I think, is the social aspect is really hard to access online. And that's really the best part. I'm lucky that I can stream to y'all and have a conversation and talk about things and talk shit. But I could not imagine playing this game and not having any interaction. That almost brings tears to my eyes. That sounds terrible. And I know most of y'all do that. Most of y'all have to experience it that way. And that fucking sucks. Online fighting games, netcode, all that shit is great, but that's not really the best part about it. It's like what AJ was saying earlier. It's the interaction, having that long 5-hour set where you're just losing, but your friends are there, you're getting better, you're having this awesome experience. You don't get to see that anymore online. And you just turn into this more. Instead of having the in-person reaction, it's all points. I'm out of here. Fuck you. I'm out. I'm not saying that should be a requirement, but in my opinion, that's the best part of fighting games. Does the MK1 force the first of 2? I don't know. Dude, man, Mortal Kombat. I fucking knew it, man. I was like, $70? This game got assists too? Nah, I'm good. And now look at it. I saw MK1 on sale for less than 30 bucks today. I was like, yep, I still ain't getting it. Good luck to y'all. I wish y'all the best, but no, I'm good. I don't understand why first of 3 is optional. You mean first of 2? If you're the competitive game, where you sit there and play for 30 minutes minimum, and if you don't, you get banned. What? Oh yeah. It's the time commitment. It just depends on what they want out of it. Also, fighting games have a weird time frame because sometimes you win 2, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win 1 and then they win. Sometimes it's 3 matches, sometimes it's 2. But if you make it 3 out of 5, if you make it first of 3, then that means there could be 5 matches, and that could be a long time commitment. And I think part of the thing that's good about fighting games is you don't really have to do that. So I kind of understand both sides. I want first of 3, especially in tournaments, even though I don't really play in them. First of 1 is so toxic. Yep. Offline is like a different game. Yeah, that's the other thing. I have everything set up great. I got fiber. I got a 240 hertz monitor. I got a 4070. Like, everything is great. I have the optimal settings pretty much for playing this game online. Offline's still better. Offline's still better. There's not going to be anything. Nothing's in the way. It's that alone makes it a different experience. But the in-person experience is way more valuable. And to Capcom's credit, they're trying to help you out. The way they designed this game is made great. Street Fighter 6, I've said it a million times. Street Fighter 6 is a really good video game. It's like 9 out of 10 as a video game. Competitively, it's got some problems, but that doesn't matter for most people who play the game. And I think over time, competitively, it's gonna be pretty good. It's just a little too offensive right now. A little bit too much. It's at least possible to still have that connection and community like in Street Fighter. I feel like a lot of other multiple genres go out of the way to make sure you don't interact with the opponent as much as possible. And it tends to be toxic. I haven't played that many games online. I kind of avoid it. But Final Fantasy XIV, and this probably is tied in too. Up until I got to doing Savage Raids in Final Fantasy XIV, it was wonderful. Everybody was so nice. It just hugs all around. How you doing? High five. Let's do it. Everything. Like, it's the friendliest community. You just feel like you're at a park enjoying a nice walk. It's beautiful. As soon as you get to the competitive part, that's when people start, hey, stop standing in that shit. Hey, who the fuck who wiped the raid? Like, it gets, that was the first time I stopped playing Final Fantasy XIV, was a Savage raid, and somebody said it was my fault for not healing them, like the classic MMO thing. But as soon as things got serious and there's a goal in mind, that's when people tend to get toxic. And there's always a goal in fighting games. You know, nothing's like casual about playing ranked. It's like actually the words involved. One and done. And what do you really get though, man? What do you really get out of having more MR? Status? Who cares? Even though my friends are bad at this game, I still have the most fun playing with them. I bet. When I saw the promo videos for Street Fighter 6 and I saw two, like, I don't know, TV show hosts, and they both did Drive Impact against each other, and there was a bunch of boobs and titties and slow motion and blood, and they were like, oh my god, this is so cool. I wish Street Fighter 6 looked cooler. Drive Impact and Perfect Parry Slowdown feels like it's forcing you to be hype. Or at least for me. I think I'm just old though. Best community, by the way, is the meme about 14's community. It's just as ass as Street Fighter 6, if not worse. Nah, I don't know about that, man. Nah, I don't know, man. I think it's when you get to the higher level, which is probably the same in this. And you know what else ties into MMO, Final Fantasy XIV? When I first started playing World of Warcraft, those are like some of my fondest memories. It was doing Karazhan, the Burning Crusade, I think it was, or was it? I forget. I was doing that raid with a bunch of friends. We were all in fucking Ventrilo. It was so sick. I played Restoration Druid, and we were just going through the mechanics. Oh man, it was so much fun. With friends. When I did raids in Final Fantasy XIV and Savage raids, it did not hit the same. The raids are awesome. The game is really well made. If I did it with friends, it would have been amazing. It's not nearly as good of an experience when you just do it with random people on the internet. And that's what's happening with fighting games too. But maybe fighting games have the best path to building those connections. New kids value MR more than anything. You can talk about a matchup and, oh yeah, what's your MR, bro? Oh yeah, really? Really? I guess so. Is that what the locals, is that what happens at locals these days? That could be done for good. Like Japan has those casual sessions where it's sorted out by MR. And I think that's pretty effective. But as far as like a status symbol, that's fucking gross. Been playing 14 for years. I know how shitty he is. Yeah, exactly. For years. If you only played it for a month, you'd be like, wow, this is amazing. What a beautiful community. But every time I play, or at least the past 2 times that I really no-lifed Final Fantasy, it was amazing until I got to Savage raids. When there was really nothing else to do. There's something special of hopping on with your buddies and just spamming Tolstoy at each other. That's cool. Locals, I get asked what my rank is all the time. You're joking. I don't believe you. I blame Fortnite? Oh my god. No way. No, I don't believe it. Some early 20-year-old is asking you, what's your rank, bro? I don't really have a resolution, an ending to this subject. I just wanted to think about it. You know? Why do people do it? Why is it becoming more popular? And is it really more popular? I think it is. I wish I was capping. I've been asked that offline. It's always fun. Really? Maybe that's just gamers not having social skills. The same people show up, so no one cares about rank. They already know it. That's gross. It's like a weird ranking system. Man, that makes me think about when I was going to the arcade. There were some people that weren't that great. They were good enough, but they were fun to be around. That was the whole point. I'd rather be around somebody who sucks at the game but is funny and fun to be around than somebody who's good at the game but a total shit face. Okay.